Today we're going to take a look at a real world example. This is a real layout from a 2014 tournament down in Reno, Nevada. So we're going to take a look at that match, and the purpose of this video is to understand that even though a table looks like it's a no-brainer, it can be deceptive, and we can very, very quickly shoot ourselves in the foot, and we don't want to do that. So let's take a look. So basically a year ago, I made my first pool related video, and that was me breaking and then making a plan after the break. So I broke 5 times, and then I would basically talk and, relay how I look at a table after the break. So I would talk about my opening shot. I would address clusters, breakouts, and possible shots that we would have to negotiate to try to run on a rack. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to throw the link right up there, and if it interests you, go ahead and go back. So what this video though is like I said in the intro, is that this is a real world example. This happened in 2014. So this was in a match between Mike Helmer and a local talent, Brian Butler, who actually owns Top Shots Billiards and Ping Pong here in the city. So this is Brian Butler breaking, and this is what he got in rack 5 of that match. So why don't we take a look at that footage, because it was streamed. I'm going to show you that footage. Let's watch the break. Let's watch Brian circle around the table, and you can tell what he's thinking and those gears going around in his head. What do you think that he's thinking? So that's important for us to see. Okay, he can't go here, he can't go there, right? You can see what he's thinking. Then I'm going to stop it, and then we're going to analyze it ourselves, because I've got the exact same layout on my table right here. So let's take a look.
Powerful break by Brian. Well, the 5-8 up there is the problem. He has one shot on a stripe, which would be the 9 in the side, or he's got to take the solids. Either way, the 5-8 needs to be opened up. And again, so this is a situation here where your initial decision will set the tone for how the rest of the rack unfolds. I honestly don't know what he's looking at.
So let's take a look at what we can see on this table, and then we're going to take a look at what Brian did. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at opening shots. So obviously the 4-ball is our easiest of opening shots, but what else could we possibly do? So the 7-ball, bank to the side, it's possible, but it is a very low percentage shot. So you'd be banking, you've got the smallest of slivers. It's a really, really bad shot. Don't take that shot. Okay, so what about the 9 in the side? That's the only pocket the 9 goes to. It doesn't go to any corner. It goes to that side. So there's that option. However, what happens to the cue ball when we're shooting away from the side like that, right? It's flying. So what we do is potentially change the shape of the world. And it's tough to predict what it's going to look like on this table after we take that shot, depending on what we put on it and how hard we hit it. Also, this scratch on the 8 is a significant danger. So these aren't frozen, so there's no sort of throw action, but it's lined up basically right for that knob right there. So if we hit on the wrong side of this 5 ball, namely that side, and that 5 ball goes that way, there's a possible scratch. We could shoot the 12 in the side, so it would be an extreme cut. So it's a little bit back to the side, but then the cue ball is probably going to nudge this 1 ball, and we're coming into this area again where potentially we could just give away the game, and we don't want to do that. The 15 ball, we can't take it. Well, we can't take it to either corner, so that's out. And so that's basically our options. This 1 ball, actually, we can't cut it either. The 7's in the way. That would be a very hard opening shot, but let's say the 7 ball was over a little bit. You know, if you made that shot, you're probably off to the races, because as we've said before, this 8 ball, worst case scenario, we can have this easy bank at the end. We leave these balls for the end, and we can just sort of stop it, and we'll have an 8 bank. So, taking a look at all of that, what would you do on this table right here, right? You want to know what Brian did? Well, let's roll the film.
Tried to carry him to 10. That's pretty much all I thought he could do, but table is still open now.
So that's interesting, right? He did something I actually didn't even think of. He tried the billiard. So he came into the 1 and tried to kick the 12 in the side, which is an interesting technique, right? So he would have been establishing himself as the high balls, and he may have had that 15 ball there to go to the side, and he'd be off to the races. And as I said before, I mean, all you have to do is stop down here at the end, and you don't have to break this out. You've got a pretty relatively easy bank 8 ball on the end. So I know today, after texting with him, that in hindsight, he says, oh yeah, I remember that game. That's where I tried that billiard. I should have just shot the 9 in the side. And, you know, looking at the table, we've analyzed it, and yeah, that's one of the opening shots, right? But again, you're shooting away from that side. Your cue ball is going to be traveling. So depending on what you throw on that cue ball, I mean, you could be coming into these balls. You might be missing those balls, and you might be coming into here. You might be introducing a potential scratch. So nothing is assured, you know? And that's what makes this rack kind of deceptive, right? You can mess it up right quick. So how would you do it, right? You saw what Brian did. How would you do it? I mean, I've looked at this for a while now. I know what I would do. What would you do? So what would I do in this situation? Well, all I can say to that is we're all different cats, right? So maybe Brian's saying taking the 9 to the side, maybe that is the shot, right? And then you're off to the races and you've got the high balls. But I'm going to take a conservative approach. I'm going to establish myself at the table. So I'm going to be taking the duck and working from there. I'm going to establish myself. So my plan is, and I like to think 2-3 balls ahead, right? So I'm going to be playing this 4 ball, top left, come to an area like so. Then I'm going to be shooting the 7 ball into the corner, 2 rails to be hopefully coming in to this area. Maybe I knock the 6 this way. Maybe I don't. Maybe I thread the needle. Then I have a 6 ball to the side, 6 ball to that corner, maybe a 6 ball to that corner, and a 1 ball to that corner. And I've got multiple opportunities to try to break out a 5. That's it. That's my plan, right? Very imperfect. A lot of things could go wrong coming into this, right? I could luck out though. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Not bad. Going for that diamond. There you go. I messed it up. Now what are my options? Right? I could shoot the 6. I could shoot the 6 to that corner. That's how hard this table is. And then hope. It's basically hoping at this point. Looks like I'm kicking, guys. Oh! Well, you get my point. That was the first time I tried it and I came up short and I sold out. My opponent, he probably shoots the 15 in the side and I lose that game and he runs me out. So that was the first time I actually tried it, and so you guys actually get my real results. So there, I suck, I guess. Anyways, the key learning in this video is try to recognize these tables that are deceptive, right? Brian saw it right off the hop. It's why it took him so long walking around that table, right? He knew that in a blink of an eye, it could go like it went for me, right? And you can mess it up so easy. So important to understand that as a player, recognize it, and try to avoid it. And maybe make a better decision on patterns than I just did. So give it a shot yourself, set it up, see what happens. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, because that shows YouTube that you actually value what I do on this channel. Until the next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.